All right, Nick, let's head down to Jacksonville and talk about the Jaguars here for a moment. The Jaguars have found their for sure QB of the future in Trevor Lawrence, a great pairing with head coach Doug Peterson. But this OTA period, Nick, Trevor Lawrence hasn't been the talk of the town around the Jacksonville team. It's been another key offensive addition, and I think the fans are going to love what everybody is saying about them.
Miles, I agree with you 100%. The Jaguars are building all kinds of momentum, and it looks like they just won't be stopped. You brought up this new addition. I think Jacksonville fans will be really excited to learn more. But before we take an eye towards the future, let's take a step back and look towards the past. We're talking about Jacksonville Jaguars history, and that leads me to my question today for Jacksonville fans to answer in the comment section below. Who's the one former Jacksonville Jaguar that isn't in the Hall of Fame, but really should be? A guy who was an all-time great, but never really got his due. I thought Fred Taylor was criminally underrated. I think he should get serious consideration for the Hall. But give me your guy, the one Jacksonville Jaguar that isn't in the Hall of Fame that really should be. And let us know who that guy is in the comment section below. And make sure you stay tuned to the end of today's video to hear a word from our partner of today's video. That is Neuro. They've got a great product that gives you a fast and easy energy boost. We love to take their mints right before the show. They give us the energy we need to produce this content. So make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video to learn more about Neuro and to get access to our special discount code. All right, Miles, what you got? What's the latest out of Jacksonville?
Yes, Nick, everybody knows Jacksonville is the future of this young AFC South division. They look really, really strong. Trevor Lawrence is going to lead this team to great heights, but he can't do it without some help, and they have gotten help, and everyone has heard about what Calvin Ridley can bring to this team ad nauseum. But finally, we get to see him in action a little bit in OTAs, and he has done nothing but impress so far. It's early, it's pad season, but he has looked as advertised. He looks extremely good. So let's get into the article here, Nick, for just a second. This is Jacksonville Jaguars offensive coordinator Press Taylor giving these comments to go off. Says, I've been really impressed with Calvin. I've watched every snap that Calvin has played in the NFL, and just like a lot of our guys have, so we're very confident in the player that we're getting, Taylor said Monday. Then, able to meet him in person, we have a lot of people that vouch for him, obviously going back to when we acquired him. But the work he's put in this offseason has been extremely impressive in terms of meeting the extra work he does. And you can tell he's doing it because he comes in the next day. He's got a list of questions. They're very thought out, and you can tell he's peaked ahead of the install or just looking a couple days ahead as we go on. So he's done a great job just intermixing with the group and making his own role. So, Nick, he looks like he's done the extra work. He's done the research. Every day he comes in with a new set of questions. And there's one more thing later on in the article I want to address as well. It says, while we won't overstate May workouts when receivers aren't being challenged during non-contact practices, it's notable that Ridley has reportedly been the class of the Jaguars offense in this early stage. If he's the receiver we saw in 2020 and prior, the Jags added a game breaker to an already potent offense. Nick, this is all, of course, on NFL.com. Great interview here with Press Taylor. Nick, I'm really excited to see the extra dynamicism that Calvin Ridley can add to this Jaguars offense. I think he might be the hidden ingredient that this offense needed to make them go very far in the playoffs. But I'm curious, what are your thoughts on Ridley and already showing up and impressing at OTAs?
I think it was a really great sign. And look, everyone's like, and like the article mentioned, everyone's talking about it's May, it's mini camps, it's OTAs. Why are we overselling this? And I think this is one of those cases where it's not an oversell. And here's why. You've got a guy in Ridley who's been out of football for a very long time. We know he's been chomping at the bit, but there is a chance with some of these guys, you hear it all the time, these young players, they get away from the game, they get away from their teammates, they get away from teams. Sometimes their conditioning goes lax, they don't focus on the right things. Sometimes they lose the mental edge of the game, things like that. It just happens in life with anybody, right? You're away from it from a little while. Sometimes it's hard to get back into the swing of things. I was honestly expecting the Jaguars to come out and say, listen, hey, we like Ridley. He's doing a lot of good things, but we understand he's knocking the rust off and it's going to take time. That's what I was expecting. I was expecting Ridley to appear rusty. I was expecting him to be energetic and feisty and tough, all those great things, but I thought he was going to look, maybe rusty, maybe have maybe nagging injuries, maybe a touch out of shape potentially. Not the case at all. This guy came out ready to play. He's clearly put in the work over the past 3, 6, 9 months, or however long he's been suspended. He has definitely done all the extra work. And I love the fact that he's aggressive in the film room, aggressive with the coaching staff. It's clear to me this is a guy who has been chomping at the bit for months and months and months to contribute to a football team at the highest level. This to me is just the first step in what he'll do over the course of the next weeks, months, and as we get ready for the 2023 campaign. But the fact that there was literally no rust and he comes out on top in a receiver group that's got some solid players, right? This is not like a dumpster fire of a receiving core where there isn't any kind of playmakers. To separate himself from the rest of the group, despite having not played competitive football in such a long time, is a great sign that, one, he hasn't lost a step, and two, that he's put in a lot of work over the past few months. All right, Miles, we would like to give a special thanks to our partner in today's video, Neuro.
That's right, Nick. And I want you to go with me on a journey really fast. I want you to imagine this. It's 4th and goal in the big game, Nick. Your team is relying on you to make the big-time game-winning play. I know you've been in this situation before, Nick. The stadium is roaring. The clock is ticking. The game is on the line. But if only in that moment you were able to have some Neuro gum. Neuro gum will help you stay concentrated, and it gives you a burst of energy without a nasty crash.
That's right, Miles. Neuro has thoughtfully curated ingredients and does endless lab testing, which means that you can reach the right state of mind safely and consistently. That's the most important part. It gives you a clean burst of energy and focus without the jitters of coffee or any of those other energy drinks.
That's right, Nick. And if you click our sponsor link in the description below, you can enjoy energy, calm, and focus whenever you need it.